All right, we're moving on down to the next step. So we're under residential listing agreement. We're going to go on down to, we just covered seller exclusion list. Let's move on down to the addendum regarding fixture leases. So we're going to go right over to back into dot loop under my temporary loop that I made for Keller Williams listing docs, agent preview, just so you can have an idea of where to grab these documents, what they mean. So this one I've already gone into and found it. I went under templates. I scrolled down and I got this one out of the TREC interactive forms. You'll see what I normally do is I'll type in a main keyword because there's a lot of documents in there. Sometimes they're hard to find. So this one's fixture leases. So let's type in fixture. There it is. So you grab that, you copy it. I've already got one in here. Let's pull up the addendum regarding fixture leases. Again, so this is going to be something that's pretty self-explanatory, right? We learned what fixture leases was when you got your license and you took the test, you passed it. So if you don't know what a fixture lease is, do some reviewing, get comfortable with it and understand what it means. If your client, let's give an example, real life example. You go to a house and you get a listing. You notice that there's solar panels on top of the roof, which is becoming more and more popular, and you're starting to see it a lot right now. That can cause some issues to come up. So it's best to know all the information about the property that you can from the beginning, right? So this one, let's say that your clients, you see the solar panels on the roof, and there's a lease that comes with it. So they're not paid for. They did a financing agreement with a solar panel company. And you need to know all of that information. So on this one, if that's the case, we put the address, solar panels. So buyer shall assign the buyer the fixture lease at closing except the following. All this is negotiable, right? So you have to figure out what makes sense. A lot of times it's not uncommon to see a $20,000, $25,000 fee that's still owed for installing and purchasing this, which attaches to the property. So this is going to stay with the property at this time. So the buyer needs to know that either the seller is going to pay this off at closing and clear this, or they're going to assume it, and the buyer will be responsible for it, which a lot of times is a deal killer. Not everybody wants to have an additional $200, $300, $400, $500 a month because they got solar panels on the roof on a house that just purchased. So they need to know all this information. And if it comes up at the end and it wasn't disclosed from the beginning, again, you can have problems. So this is a reason why we do this stuff. Disclosures in the very beginning versus finding out something at the end. So all this information will go here. This also needs to, you have to check a box, right? So buyer has received a copy of all the fixture leases. If they haven't received it, they've got a certain period of days right here, and it states it exactly what it is. So there is no, I wonder, did I have it in time? Remember, this could be a buyer's way out. This is another reason. There's all kinds of reasons to get out of a contract. If it's not delivered within this time frame, you could be looking at a buyer's way out of the contract. Remember that. So I would recommend getting a copy of the lease agreements from your seller and present it immediately. So you can even put it with the seller's disclosure. This needs to be presented right away, and don't wait until the last day of this contract. And then there's some misinterpretations on how the contract reads, because those kind of things will come up. So, and you'll need your buyer, or you'll need the buyer of the property, and your seller will need to sign this and agree to it. So you have to have this important document to know. Most common, just so you know, they're stated right here: solar panels, propane tanks, water softener, security system, anything else. So, and that is gonna be the addendum regarding fixture leases. Example.